I challenged 2 of my friends to a taste test. Which one was the homemade popcorn and which one was bought from the theaters? Follow along, and I will teach you the secrets I have learned on my journey to make the perfect movie theater popcorn. I have been trying to figure out how to make good movie theater popcorn for somewhere around 10 years. Although I never could quite get it right. The flavor wasn't there, the kernels are too chewy, not fluffy, not soft. Something was always off. But I'm glad to tell you after a long journey I figured it out. Let's go back those 10 years. The internet wasn't exactly what it is now. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't 1995. It was 2013. But the level of information on the forums like Reddit just didn't exist in the level it does now. After a lot of research, I came across information that all I needed was high quality kernels, flavacol flavoring salt, and to use coconut oil in a pot on the stovetop. So I tried it. I ordered the flavacol. I ordered some Move Pop 5 movie theater popcorn. I got like 2 5-pound bags, cost me $32. Flavacol for $4, and they absolutely hosed me on the shipping. It was $43 for shipping. Overall, it was an $80 order. So I tried it. While the flavor was a bit better than the microwave stuff, it just wasn't right. I always felt the kernels were chewy and tough, and they didn't melt away in your mouth. They weren't fluffy. I did experiment a bit, thinking maybe it was the pot I was using, maybe it was the method of me shaking the kernels on the stovetop. Maybe I left them on the heat for too long. I always came up short. I went on like this for a while with mediocre popcorn. Mind you, the mess was also very annoying to clean up because of the coconut oil. I decided maybe a dedicated popcorn maker would help, so I tried this popcorn maker. It didn't really help. The machine was more annoying to clean. The motor didn't spin fast enough. And all in all, it just didn't do anything for me. Fast forward many years, and I crave popcorn once again. I tried my homemade stuff. I hate it. I tried the microwave stuff. I hate it. Nothing compares to that sweet, sweet nectar that is movie theater popcorn. And I do admit it, there are times I would go to the movie theaters just to buy popcorn and leave. I wouldn't even see a movie. I would just get that shit and go. Buying bags of popcorn at the theater is like $10 to $15. So now I've decided to figure out what makes movie theater popcorn pop and how to do it for the cheap. First, to the internet. Looking through Reddit posts I found, a lot of people shared my concern. How do you do it? There's a lot of misinformation out there. Many accounts of just use coconut oil and flavacol. People speaking of using vegetable oil. That's it. There's even a lady who was using ghee in her hair, which is basically just clarified butter. What? Huh? But I came across very useful posts. Using these posts, I was able to figure it out. The oil, I need vegetol. We find the theaters do not use flavacol salt. We can't say exactly what it is, but if we go in the nutrition guide of Cineplex, we see they use a salt that contains milk whey. So technically their popcorn is not lactose free. I got the idea from a Reddit post to use 50/50 flavacol better butter and this poppacorn brand flavoring salt. For the oil, vegetol, I looked and looked, and I can't seem to find it in Canada. Investigating further into what vegetol is, we find it's simply canola oil, artificial butter flavor, beta-carotene, and TBHQ. The artificial butter flavor we don't need. We're going to be getting that from our better butter flavacol. And TBHQ is a preservative to literally just help with shelf life, and we can do without preservatives. The other thing it has in it is beta carotene, but that is a natural thing found in orange and yellow fruits and vegetables. It simply just gives them their color. It's sort of how chlorophyll makes green plants green. And actually beta carotene is converted into vitamin A in your body, and it's also antioxidant, so there's really no harm in using it. So I found this oil, 007 on poppacorn. It is simply canola oil and beta carotene. No butter flavor, no preservatives. The next thing is the kernel. Who supplies the theater their kernels? Weaver Popcorn. They're the largest distributor in the world, owning a very large market share of all the popcorn. Looking through their websites, I found their products, and I found that they list their expansion levels of each popcorn. The best that Weaver Popcorn sells is Pop Weaver Gold. This is their number one for maximizing profits, so I would assume this is what a movie theater would use. So I decided to buy this. I got a 35-pound bag for just under $50. That's not bad considering 10 years ago I spent $32 for only 10 pounds. If you do the conversion, that's $41 today's money for only 10 pounds. What about the toppings? Doing some more reading in Cineplex's nutrition guide, I found they use Lacantia clarified butter. Popcorn also has this, but there's so much, and I'll never use it all, and I need to store it, and I don't want to. I can also just make clarified butter very simply from Lacantia butter. And I will cover that in another video. One thing I notice about the butter here is they say it's very low in sodium. When I do a side-by-side comparison of their popcorn with butter on it and my popcorn with butter on it, theirs is extremely salty, whereas mine, I used unsalted butter. One thing I also will note is that when you get popcorn at the theaters, you have to pay for the butter at the concession stand. If you're going and getting that trash on the side you pump yourself, that's not real butter. Don't put that shit on your popcorn. It's usually just an oil or a Basil, and just don't use it. It's gross. Now, I must say, I've made this popcorn with all my ingredients, and it is amazingly close to the theater's popcorn. And my one question to myself is, what was it that made this so much better than my old popcorn? What was the thing that did it? So I decided to use these new kernels that I just bought with my old technique. Stovetop, just in a pot, and using coconut oil, a little bit of the regular flavacol salt, and one thing you'll notice in these pictures, popcorn, even with this good popcorn kernel, they're not expanding fully. They're staying smaller, which means they're more dense, which means they're not gonna just melt away in your mouth. Some of them did, maybe only like 10%, the rest were chewy and gross. I believe it wasn't good due to a combination of using coconut oil, not properly dialing in your temperature. The old technique, it was just you drop 2 kernels in, and as soon as they pop, you're up to temperature. But I like to keep things consistent. And using a pot to cook it in, you need something to spin the kernel, and shaking it on the stovetop might not do enough. This is what I'm using now, and I think for the price, it's really worth it. And I definitely recommend picking this up, because if you want to make good popcorn, you gotta have a good popcorn maker.
I like to fart.
Oh, it feels wet. That doesn't taste like normal popcorn. Okay. I like that one better than the second one. First one was salty, second one was E. Third one's better than the second. And the middle ones are better. And the ones are. Go back for one more. I like these two. Or my favorite popcorn, and these two are. That's my guess. These two are my favorite. Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Go for top pick.
It's a good bite.
Your favorite?
I said that's fun.
And which one? Do you think that one's the movie theater one? Or do you think that's just your favorite?
Can I? Yes, absolutely. Keep going. So, yeah. This is just screwing me. Not the second one. Okay, so this one's out. So we should pull it away from you. You didn't like the first one either. First one's okay, but these ones are better.
Those are the heat.
I mix up. I'm gonna let that sit.
Airy.
Tastes really good butter. It's good. The first one. Oh, these two, this whatever.
That's top pick?
That's the one's not. I feel like they taste like almost the same.
Okay.
Okay. That's my back. Go to Zach.
All pretty good. A little salty.
I don't
Then the
like
butter.
popcorn.
It was a good like fluffiness. So I'm pretty good too, I think, but like less salty or something. Maybe. Why? It's fresh mini? I don't know. Hopefully someone beats it right now. Buttery, not very salty. I think these will beat it. No, I'm no popcorn connoisseur. Yes. It's all buttery. I think these two.
The two end ones are
Movie theater.
your favorite or your movie theater?
Pick your
Okay, I don't know what we moved is.
pick one you like the absolute most
Oh, these two?
between your favorites.
So he likes the no butter, basically.
Oh, no other ones?
Yeah.
Don't worry. You gotta wait till later. Now when it's frozen, you can eat that one.
Oh, very like soft.
Freezer.
God. Oh. I think this one
Is what?
better.
Better? Top dog?
I think so.
Alright.
We're gonna go with that.
Alright.
Natasha's overall favorite was the bee bowl, the like label or whatever.
Yeah.
Which was like authentic movie theater from movie theater buttered popcorn.
Buttered.
Buttered.
Oh, buttered. But her first pick was.
She was on the fence. You were going back and forth between both buttered options.
And then Alan's.
So maybe Alan liked 1 and 2 the best, which is the no buttered ones, and then ultimately he did pick Jeremy's. And the baby doesn't mind
I
popcorn.
like to fart.
They're
He
very
likes to
close.
fart.
We like to fart.
Like, it's almost, you almost can tell.
Although at first Natasha picked my popcorn, she did land on the theater's popcorn, but as you saw, Alan chose mine and it was extremely close. In the beginning of motion pictures, people would bring their own snacks or even sell them right outside the theaters. Due to popcorn being so cheap and how simple it was to make fresh on the spot with a mobile popcorn machine, it became extremely popular. Although the theater's owner and the staff disliked people bringing in food and drink into their establishment, they realized money was being left on the table. During the Great Depression, they found it to be a smart way to increase profits by selling it themselves and only allowing their product in the theater. Hence the name concession. The concession was they'd only allow it if you bought it from them, which is why it's still so hard to this day to bring your own food and drink into the theater. Now we know why it costs so much at the theater. I calculate the cost of how much a single batch of what I make costs myself. Including the bags I got from Amazon, each batch is under $1. Let that soak in. Check out my channel for other videos, such as how to make your own clarified butter at home.
So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
See ya in the next one.